Hello everyone and welcome to, of course, the official EGF season, or EGFC season 1. We're coming into week 4 out of 9. Of course, this is our pre-elimination season when the schools, of course, are duking it out to earn their seeding. Moving on to the playoffs, I, as always, am Cavan Navik-Dignan, and today I'm joined by the wonderful Cameron Dorfralic. How are you doing, Dor?
I'm doing lovely today, Navik. It's a rainy day here in Florida, but you know what? I'm ready for some Rocket League.
Yeah, we have got some good matches lined up today. We got, well, I'll let you hit it because you have them on top of right now.
I do. First up will be UT Arlington sitting at 2-0, going up against Siena. Siena looking for their second win of the season. And then after that, Canisius versus RIT. A little bit of a David versus Goliath there as well. Following that, it's going to be Manhattan versus the University of Delaware. So some big names up on the card today. UT Arlington, RIT, and University of Delaware, all major contenders for that first place spot. And all the other teams looking to really be the underdogs today, looking to pick up a win where you don't expect them to. And that's what's going to lead to them getting an edge further on into the season.
Yeah, I think if there's any upsets coming out into this, it's definitely going to lead to some much more interesting developments as we move on, like you said, further into the season, right? We have had both of the teams have a bit of a warm-up game. There was a bit of a miscommunication, so we just kind of let that play out. And I'm intrigued, right? Because now they've played against each other once as a practice. Let's see where they go.
And I think the teams are just about ready here, but I mean, I think it's not too hard of a prediction to make here. I think we both say UT Arlington, the clear favorite in this matchup right now. Siena has a lot of ground to make up, but they are 1-1. They've only played up against Niagara, and they had to forfeit to RIT, so they haven't had too much of a showing this season. So this is going to be a good opportunity to show what they've worked on in the offseason and in the time that they've had to improve themselves. And you know what? They're going to need every drop of it, as UT Arlington are not a team to be messed with.
No, UT Arlington is one of those teams, like we've said time and time again, they are a massive force to be reckoned with. And if you underestimate them, they will just take the win.
One moment, I believe my game is just messing up a little bit.
Unfortunately. Let these teams get started. And like you said, talking over the matches, right? Canisius versus RIT should be interesting. We might see that. We might see Canisius take a game off of RIT, but they're definitely the favored ones, like you said. I'd be interested to see, though. I know these teams have been practicing a good amount, and I like to see when it pays off, right? Because whenever there's an upset, people are just like, wait, what? I feel like that's the reaction most people give, you know, when an upset happens, though.
Yeah, as well, the new semester, a lot of these teams are coming in with new players. So teams like RIT, I think, are the ones that are the most volatile, have the most room where they could be upset by another team just out of the sheer factor of a little bit of inconsistency. I'm still having a little bit of trouble.
Do you need us to remake the lobby?
I think so.
All right. We will be right back momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're getting straight into the action here. Bringing out some Rocket League. Of course, we have UT Arlington in the blue and Siena College in the orange.
And already I'm noticing a little something. Samba in on the little bit more of an unconventional car here. A little bit of early disrespect, I think that might be. I think we saw him swap since the warm-up.
Yeah, I mean, the good old Beetle. It's a fun car. The Scarab is an interesting one. It's one of those ones where it's a little bit deceptive because the hitbox isn't bad, just the shape of the car throws you off a lot mentally. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the Scarab. Good touch there from Genghis, going to be able to get it clear towards Samba. Going to rebound it off the corner. Are they looking for the double touch? No, just going to go straight back to Genghis. And they've got Nabuli, a sub this time. This is the first time we see him play with the team.
I mean, I don't have a doubt in my mind that this UT Arlington team has some good players to back them up, and they're not even going to need him as Samba puts the goal in for himself. It's going to be 1-0 heading into the 4th minute here. UT Arlington taking an early lead, nothing out of the blue. We're looking for Siena to come back here, starting to pile those goals on because they're going to need every single one they can get.
Yeah, we're already a minute into the game as well, and only 1 goal. We watched the warm-up a little bit, right? And I think the average goal per minute was like 2 or 3. So interesting to see Siena being able to hold the fort a little bit, but it is still early days as we see Samba manage to just carry it straight in. Goal number 2.
That's unlucky. I think the ball actually came down on one of the Siena players here. It was nicely blocked, and then unfortunately, yep, Muffins came, just taps it in. That's going to be 2, and I think you put a little caster's curse on him there, Navik. There's the 2nd goal for the minute. 3 minutes and 55 seconds left on the clock, though. That's plenty of time for either of these teams to put goals in the back of the net. I know UT Arlington are no stranger to that.
No, and again, that's one of the things, right, when you're playing against UT Arlington. We've said it time and time again. These players are, for lack of a better statement, that they are just on another level a lot of the time, right? I think the only school that's managed to even get close to beating them is Delaware.
Yeah, and Delaware right now sitting at 3-0 up at the top of the standings themselves. You'll get to see them play later on tonight, so I think that's going to be a good little show of skill here as these teams haven't quite gotten to face each other yet.
The touch rebound off of there. This is an opportunity for Siena. Gets challenged by Genghis there. I think Fallen loses control. Muffins in position here to try and carry it away. Good. Nicely stolen away by Samba. Rebounding off of the corner. This is an opportunity for Genghis to put it in, and that's going to be goal 3 already for UT Arlington. I mean, they're starting to ramp it up again, right? UT Arlington takes it slow. We saw a bit of a BM swap onto the Scarab, of course. And it is an interesting one. They always play differently as well, I seem to find.
I've got to say the scariest part about this is that he looks just about as comfortable aerialing and dribbling in the Scarab as I do in the normal car. So it's genuinely terrifying the amount of control that this man has, because air dribbles and things like that take a solid knowledge of the hitbox of your car, and to be able to just swap over like that and dominate like he is right now, because it feels like it's Samba being the real crux of all these plays UT Arlington has been putting out, and he's just flying around, driving circles around Siena right now. Siena have got to find some sort of solid passing play, some sort of clear out of the back, and that's definitely not going to be it.
It's going to be on number 4. We're coming into halftime for the round as well. Siena stuck in that defensive position pretty much the entire game as UT Arlington has bombarded them door.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. There's plenty more games left in this series. Siena can't start to roll over right now. I think there's plenty of space for them to find goals, put some points on the board, lessen that goal differential to begin with, and then maybe even turn it into a tie, run it into overtime, you know? Make it a closer match than it is right now, but they are just letting UT Arlington do whatever they want. They're forgetting the fundamentals there. There was no defensive rotation back, 1 person running for the ball, 1 goalkeeper running in, just challenging from the ground, no boost, and it feels like the fundamentals are falling off because Siena may just feel they don't have a chance.
Yeah, I think it does get to a mental point, right, where if they are just getting scored on, this is a good, right, where it's a good kickoff for Siena. Muffins unfortunately whiffing it there, not quite getting it. The ball's going to go up. Nabuli sees an opportunity, needs to get it past is that Turnip God? I always heard that as Turnip God, which is obviously not a correct sentence. Samba goes to look for the to take it away and regain control for his team, but I don't think there's any fear here for UT Arlington to try, especially when it comes to ball possession, because they're going to be able to put it in again. 2 minutes left. I mean, again, I feel like this just comes down to teams need to be asking for scrims, I think, right? The more you scrim against a team like UT Arlington, the more you improve, because you get thrown into a corner for so long. Eventually, you're going to start finding like options and just generally improving, just playing against better players.
Yeah, and I also think there's a certain level of comfortability. You have to be able to play up. Like, even if a team is better than you, when you scrim them, you may not beat them, but you can gain yourself a little bit of edge here and there. Say, okay, we figured out that we can beat this team with this way, and we may not be a 70% chance to win, but you know, we can bring our 5% up to a 20%, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, right? And just being able to improve that statistic, improve the confidence as well. Like you said, it feels like Siena at the moment is feeling a little bit distraught. They're making mistakes, and I imagine mentally that's not carrying very well. You kind of get yourself stuck in a vicious cycle. Look at this pass. He's going to go straight to Nabuli, and actually, Genghis steals it away, stopping Nabuli from being able to score.
Yeah, I think one of the best examples, though, of mental game and just confidence in general was Illinois at the Power 5 Invitational. They came in sitting middle of the pack, but they started off their day good. They played aggressive against teams that were far further ahead of them in the standings, and yet they were able to gain leads and take games off of those teams that were currently undefeated. And it speaks to how important the mental game is in Rocket League, because you have to be willing to make those split-second decisions.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what Rocket League is, right? It's a game of communication and split-second decisions. It comes down to micro movement and like micro macro that is so very important. And if you make a mistake, that ball is not going where you want it to go.
Yeah, and Siena is now on the attack. Genghis will get a nice little clear, but with 26 seconds left, they can only really hope for a goal here. Muffin's going to get the chance at a clear. Will he challenge the aerial, though? Samba knocks it over. Not quite, though. Sends it right back into Siena corner. And this is just going to take time and time off the clock. With 15 seconds left, Genghis is up, knocks it back in, and it's UT Arlington searching for a seventh, but not to be had. Turnip God clears out. Samba wants a piece of this action, though. He'll drive it up the wall, go for the Scarab air dribble. Can he get the style points at the end of the match? No, the ball's going to touch the ground.
UT Arlington taking game number 1. We saw them win at the warm-up earlier on for the stream, and they're continuing that streak as we see them get a point up overall. Siena now in a position where they're probably not in the greatest mental space.
Yeah, and with 6 goals on the board, I feel like Arlington are only really going to be looking for more. Samba leaves the game to swap his car off the scare. Maybe we'll just see a different car every game coming out of him. But Siena have a lot more to swap up than the cars. I think I need to see a total swap in game style here. I want to see more aggression. I want to see more attempts at aerials. I think it's going to take higher commitment and a little bit of luck to beat this Arlington team or to get a few goals in. But I think it's totally possible if they just commit more to their challenges.
Yeah, I think it is just overall like committing to those things, right? Being able to find those goals, finding the confidence, because you're not playing with confidence in Rocket League. You never ever seem to find the goals or going for the passes, right? Going for the steals that you end up needing, especially when you're punching up a weight class.
Yeah, and UT Arlington is definitely at least one weight class above this Siena team right now. But that's the great thing, is we're at the point in the season, we're at this crux where a lot of these teams can start to turn around, can start to realize where their weaknesses are because they gain so much experience playing against these other teams.
No, absolutely. Trying to set that up, right? And it is. But again, UT Arlington is like the longest, or I think they've been the longest team the longest lasting team. I think they've been around for the longest time from what I understand of a lot of these schools. And also, am I correct in saying that UT or Arlington in specific is one of the few places that has an esports arena?
I think I know a lot of these teams are starting to pick them up. I actually think Canisius was very recently gifted by their school an esports arena, which is fantastic. You love to see it spread around. But you know what else I'd love to see, Navik?
What would you like to see, Dor?
This Merc out of Samba. He locks in another unconventional pick, although the Merc surprisingly more effective than you might think. Definitely more so than the Scarab.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm very much a firm believer of the car doesn't particularly matter in Rocket League, right? Because if you're playing well, you're playing intelligently, you understand the slightly different hitboxes, then you're fine. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day, the game boils down to 5 different hitboxes, no matter what car you're on, right? Not every car has an individual one. And I think that's important to recognize as well. Like, you see Samba right now, right, in the Marauder, has exactly the same hitbox as the Octane.
Yeah, it is a scary one. And honestly, that card just brings a lot of intimidation in and of itself. I think you can already tell Samba thinks he's going to win this match with his card decisions as well. Nabuli locking in the same vehicle and a goal to his name. It was Samba bringing up the hat trick last game, but Nabuli's looking to do it himself this time.
Yeah, we find that first goal. Again, we got 3 minutes 38 left on the clock, so we're about a minute and a half into game number 2. And the pressure that we're seeing once again from UT Arlington, I want to see Siena break out. I want to see Siena punish Arlington for a mistake. And at the moment, they're just not finding the breakaways.
Yeah, I think UT Arlington are playing really confidently, but I think that might be a little bit to their detriment. It's starting to get to the point where we're seeing 3-man commits like this, where all 3 members are in the attacking side of the field. And had Muffins got to this earlier, found the pass, maybe his teammates played a little bit more aggressively, they would have had a solid attempt there at the goal. But the second they see these 3 Arlington members coming at them, they just all put on the brakes, and it feels like they just turn off to how they usually play, because this Siena team is usually a team that we've seen capable of beating plenty of other teams.
So I want to highlight a bit of communication here that we saw specifically from Arlington, right? That would have been Samba, or that would have been Genghis calling to Samba to just touch the ball, send it back, because he's going to line it up, and then manage to put it in, right? And you could see that from Samba, because he literally turned on the handbrakes, did a nice 180 drift there, and managed to tap the ball and set it back up for his teammate. And whilst we were watching that, Siena, from what I could see, was double committed and both with the ball.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, the fundamentals feel like they're not there for Siena right now. It's things that they would usually have down, but there's such a sheer intimidation factor with UT Arlington. Finally, we're seeing Siena up on the attack. They're looking to get the crossing, but they can't even get the ball to center field right now, much less into the back of the net, as Gangs is just easily going to control it here.
Yeah, but Siena there had a really good opportunity. We got to see a bit more pressure coming out from them. If Turnip could get a good turnaround here before Nabuli can start to gain control, Muffins is going to get a touch. Is he going to be able to contest it? He's not. Nabuli clearing it away. Lands in the hands. A bit of a bump coming out there as well. I believe that was from Turnip God. But this is a chance. The double commit from UT Arlington. The recenter here from Genghis. He's going to be able to carry it. Runs out of boost. It's set up. That's a shot on goal. That's going to be Siena finding their first goal.
And Genghis gets greedy here. You see him flip his car over, go for the flip reset on the ball. Doesn't realize that it's going to take his car's altitude just a little bit too high. And a nice, easy little punish from Turnip God is going to net them their first goal of the night with 2 minutes remaining in the game.
Yeah, and that is going to be the energy, right? That could be the comeback, what Siena needed here, the confidence booster in it. And I think coming out from that, right, if they just don't let another goal slip immediately here, we might actually see a slight momentum shift. Look at the challenge coming out from Muffins there, right, against Genghis. He wasn't too afraid. He was just committing for it. Good pass there. I've McFallen almost being able to rebound that straight back into the goal.
And I like this. It's a 3-man commit here from Siena. It would normally be an overcommit, but against this UT Arlington team, against the mechanic disparage, I think it's exactly what you need, and that's the confidence that you need. If he looks to put this next shot in, not enough power, though. Gonna be put on. Nice save from Genghis. Gonna allow him the 1v1, but Turnip God just knocks it in for him.
Unfortunate decision there from Turnip God. He was trying to steal it away, but just didn't quite realize that there was nobody in position to save that once he stole it away from Genghis' ball control. Straight in, own goal. Unfortunate. But I think an own goal is less momentum breaking or morale breaking than getting scored upon in that situation, right? Because that was a bit of an accident. Oh my goodness, I thought that was going to go in with the follow-up. It does get cleared by Genghis.
Nearly had. Now it's Samba back on the attack, searching for his next goal of the game. No, though. Going to be played wide, but ball control still in Arlington's favor. Muffins has to make this save, but no, it's Nabuli ending up adding another one to his name, making it 2 for him in the game with 1 minute remaining on the clock. Siena's up to the task of beating 3 more goals on the board.
Yeah, I mean, now 3 goals up, a minute left onto the clock. I think it's pretty safe to say UT Arlington is going to be able to clear this one out, right? But that's the joys of Rocket League. Coming into the next one, it'll be set 0-0, 5 minutes on the clock. Siena's already seen that they can score upon their opposition now, so they know that they can take down the beast if it bleeds, as they say. And I think that's going to work out for them. I think that must have been a massive morale boost, even if it was just 1 goal. Even if they get locked out for the rest of the game now, I feel like coming into Game 3, they'll be much more confident.
You can already tell in the way they're playing. They're on the defense. It's a little bit sloppy because they're just trying to throw themselves with this ball, and the rotations, again, still not quite there, but all I want to see is that confidence, is that they're going for these challenges, because previously they weren't. They're trying to save their boost, wait to the last second to make saves, and that's not that. They're playing aggressive, they're playing to force mistakes out of UT Arlington, and that's exactly what we saw when they did manage to get their one goal.
Yeah, being able to find that one goal is important. And coming out here, 30 seconds left onto the clock, because UT Arlington are going to be able to put in another one. No, they're not, as Muffins managed to get the save. It goes off of the rebound here. Genghis and Turnip God looking to contest it. McFallen goes for the challenge, doesn't find it. Ends up in, I believe, that was Muffins' hands. The Bully getting a big clear here. Is going to get it past to Genghis. Looking to recenter. He's going to put it in.
A nice passing play there from UT Arlington to finish it off. They have 17 seconds, so they could be staring at a Brazil, but Genghis, for once in this game, not going to be taking the selfish route, trying to pad his stats. Instead, he'll take his assist and leave. Nabuli ending up with the hat trick with 4 goals to his name currently in 17 seconds. Like I mentioned, UT Arlington, I doubt they're done with this ball.
No, I think UT Arlington are going to look for the Brazil, right? 8 seconds left on the clock. We're counting down, but I think they're going to make it happen here as we see Samba with the touch. It's going to go too high. Muffins is going to be able to retouch it. They're not going to let it hit the ground. Samba picks it up once again. 1 second. The game doesn't end until that ball touches the ground. If they can keep carrying it, Genghis gets the touch. Goes over to Nabuli. Nabuli gets a touch. Recentered. Genghis looking for it. It's going to touch the ground. 6-1 to UT Arlington, not finding the Brazil.
I can't tell if the two teams were working together there. UT Arlington was just air dribbling circles around Siena there at the very end. But I think nobody wanted that ball to touch the ground.
I think everybody deep down wanted to see them commit it on the last second.
I don't think they cared which goal it went in either, you know? At that point, the players are just having fun. They know the game's decided. They're just going to be looking to the next one, as it is match point here for UT Arlington. If Siena want to make something miraculous happen, this is the place to do it. This is their one and only chance before the week is over, or else we're going to Canisius versus RIT.
Yeah, I mean, coming out into here, Siena are in a bit of an awkward position, right? Because they don't want to get completely locked out. They want to be able to catch a little bit. But at the moment, going down 2 games, what do you reckon happens?
I think Siena either break or turn on in this little bit of time that they have. They're either going to start playing just as aggressive and start to clean up their rotations, or they're just going to go back to how they were playing game 1 and just being scared of this UT Arlington team that feels like they have just felt more than comfortable on the field with them.
And coming out right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into game number 3, match point.
And UT Arlington already going to be starting it off, taking the ball aggressively into the Siena corner, knocks it up, knocks it down off the roof. Nabuli up for the cross, and no UT Arlington members there to catch it. Turnip God misses the clear. McFallen misses the clear, and this might just be a goal here for UT Arlington. Samba puts it in.
You're going to be able to find that first goal already. That's the fastest goal this series so far. 23 seconds. Dor, how do you feel overall at the moment?
I mean, I don't think you can really speak to Siena's performance. This isn't the normal Siena we see come out, and I think that's just the UT Arlington effect right now. Clearly one of the top runners and just forcing so many mistakes out of Siena. I'm not sure you can speak too much to how they'll play throughout the season. But I think UT Arlington, for them, this is just getting comfortable with the competition. And the more games they get under the belt, the better they'll be, the less under pressure they'll feel, and the more consistent they'll get, you know?
Yeah, right? And this is an opportunity here for Siena, overcommitting a little bit. As trying to figure this one out. Nabuli, look at the touch, gets it passed back, re-centered here. I feel like Siena have significantly improved from game 1 though.
Yeah, I like the playstyle difference. The goal differential might not be that much more, but the playstyle difference speaks for itself. Is something you need to understand is when you're playing against a team like UT Arlington, who's gonna just outplay you mechanically as well as, I would say, strategically, you have to start taking risks, because that's the only way you're gonna force UT Arlington out of anything. And yes, a team like UT Arlington is gonna be able to take advantage of those, but you're gonna see situations like game 1 if you don't. If you don't start taking those risks, they'll just start running circles around you, putting 3 men on the attack and just taking full advantage of the fact that they know they can beat you mechanically unless you do something about it.
Yeah, and that's 100% it, right? UT Arlington's going to make take an example out of the mistakes, and you can learn from that, especially from watching back on the VODs, right? You're getting good perspectives, you're being able to see what's going on, and it's just coming down to communication and fundamentals. But it's also interesting, there's so many factors just in general. That was a lovely shot coming out from Samba there. I believe that was passed by Genghis.
Yeah, up off the wall. Samba just a cheeky little redirect.
Samba adapting there, right? Realized where the ball was going, goes for the redirect, manages to put it straight in.
And now 4-0. This is the highest scoreline we've seen at this moment. Just about 4 minutes left on the clock. Nabuli going to be winning that kickoff. Turnip God left to trying to control this ball. McFarlane nicely going to be cleaning up, forcing it into this Arlington half. This might just be it. Muffins goes up for the shot. Turnip God, though, knocks it wide.
Oh my goodness. Unfortunate plays there coming out from Siena. If they can just find another goal, reducing the goal differential is going to be super duper important. Coming over into the series, right? Because you don't want to be negative like 7 goals or something in your overall standings. Nabuli putting in another one.
And 5-0 with 3 minutes left in the game. This is the worst we've seen. You thought that it might get higher, but I'm not sure it's going to get too much better here for the Siena team. If they can manage to get a goal or two in on the net, I think it'll do well for their mental game going into the future weeks, but I don't want to say they've checked out of this one quite yet.
Yeah, no, it is a interesting situation. I want to see Siena scoring a bit more, just finding that confidence so that the next time they play against UT Arlington, they know they've scored on them multiple times. I've been calling that whiffing on the jump. Looks for the bicycle kick to try and clear it out. Samba drops it in front. Genghis picks it up. Genghis going to be carrying it, contested by Turnip. Turnip got down. I've been calling Samba having a bit of a fight there off of the crossbar. Going to be followed up by Samba. That's going to go straight in. Unfortunately, I liked what we saw from Siena, right? I feel like there was some bits that we improved. You saw Muffins in the right spot. He managed to dodge Nabuli from trying to bump him away, but then could not get back in time to stop Samba from scoring.
Yeah, I feel like the largest improvement that we've seen in Siena has been in their attacking. They look a lot more confident in over-pressuring this UC Arlington side in their own half, but the second the ball gets back into the Siena area, it feels like it's all doom and gloom. The rotations aren't quite there, the boost control isn't there, and winning the ball in the corner is near impossible against the mechanics of UT Arlington.
Yeah, ball possession right now has 100% been in Arlington's favor pretty much all the time. A good attempt on a save there, but we saw Genghis fully commit, gets the double touch, it's going to go straight over him. Goal number 7.
I think there's something to be said, though, something to be learned from Arlington is commitment like that and trusting your 2 remaining teammates to make the save, that they're not going to be overcommitting on your aerial, is a huge thing, and it's something that Siena might be able to take out, is because their players really were lacking that, but if it takes all 3 of them going forward for them to get a goal, that's exactly what they should be doing right now.
Yeah, I think that is it, right? It is commitment in a lot of the cases as well. There's some mechanical fundamentals that, of course, UT Arlington are just fantastic at. But Siena seems to be improving. Like I said, we are seeing a bit more coming out of them each of these rounds tonight. There's been some unfortunate own goals throughout the night. I couldn't actually get from an angle there if that was an own goal. Oh,
I don't think so. I think the blue.
No, okay. I think it would have still went in if I'd got the touch there. Yeah, that was looking a little tight.
And 8 goals to their name. 2 minutes on the clock. UT Arlington are playing with their food at this point. Ball's going to go up to Siena. Samba looks for the flip to try and cross it to his teammate. Genghis will get the clear up. Samba's going to be looking for a redirect here. Unless, no, Nabuli's in for it, and it's going to go in. 9-0. We're going to double digits, it looks like.
I mean, oh my goodness. Getting scored on in double digits is never fun, especially when it's completely locked out.
I'll tell you what, though, it's nothing that this UT Arlington team is 4-2. They have been more than known to do it to every team in their path, and looking to add another name to that list. They have, I don't want to say been nice in previous games. I think Siena have played very defensively and stopped those goals from coming in. But now Siena are searching for goals, and UT Arlington are starting to punish them for that.
Yeah, they're starting to, as whenever mistakes been having here, I think UT Arlington has started to hit their stride. Not to say that they haven't been playing fantastically the whole time, but they seem to get into a bit of a trance where they just score over and over again. And they seem to be reaching it.
I mean, I think for UT Arlington, this match, they came into it. You saw Samba lock in the Scarab. This is I suppose, just a joyride for them. It feels like they're having more than their fair share of fun as Nabuli runs through 2 of Siena's players, just brutally destroying their cars. And with very little boost to his name, he's going to take his time, play some mind games, pass it to his teammate. Samba puts it in 11.
11 goals, and there's still a minute left. We might see this go to 13, 14 goals in that time.
I'm not going to lie, Navik. That felt wrong to say.
Yeah?
11 goals
11
feels wrong to
goals.
say in a game like Rocket League, but not when UT Arlington's in it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's incredibly unfortunate. Oh my god, Siena's going to be able to put one in, though, off of the kickoff. Did UT Arlington? No, there was just a whiff from the bully, and it just went straight in. There we go, Siena punishing UT Arlington's mistakes on purpose or on accident, whatever it was. Being able to put one goal, it's not a lockout, boys.
It's not a lockout. They get 2 goals to their name for the night. They could be searching for more here if they can just land one more ball into the back. Then it just might be it. McFarlane puts it in, and that's going to be it. 2-11. Siena starting to bring it back. Navik, is the comeback a thing?
I mean, is the comeback a thing? In a minute, 11 goals, or another, what, my brain just completely stopped working. Another 9 goals. Yeah.
Nice.
I apparently couldn't do math for a second there. Caster math really showing me there. Like, you know, but trying to find that out. Like,
oh my god, Samba.
And then Genghis. That's going to be the entirety of Siena again demolished here, but they are going to be able to try it and contest. The bully trying to reduce some of the momentum switches that come out there. And there it is. I mean, Siena managed to find 2 goals.
That's nothing to scoff at against UT Arlington. Many teams struggle to get 1, and so Siena taking 2 however they can get them. And with 50 seconds left in the game, I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see another. The later this goes into the game, the more UT Arlington seem willing to just send 3 members at this ball and have a good time with it. But I mean, as serious as this match is, or as I would say unseriously as some of the players maybe they can get, this match is serious. It is the 4th week. You're getting into that halfway point where the standings start to come in. And when you have a team like Delaware sitting in first place, every goal matters.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're being able to reduce some of the goal differential overall. There's 30 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's pretty safe to say that overall, UT Arlington's going to take the series, and we will be moving on to the next game after this. I don't think we're going to go to some miracle game 4.
Navik, how could you?
You know, I feel like with 30 seconds,
it might just be impossible by Rocket League physics. And 23 seconds left on the clock. This could be a 3rd goal, but no, I've been falling. Can't quite get to the ball in time. Samba looking to send it out of their own half. He's trying to get his own little bit of dribbling play, but it sends it right back into the UT Arlington half. And Siena are looking for anything they can get. Turnip God flips his car around, but no boost to his name. He just tries to get back to the goal, driving backwards. 5 seconds on the clock. Ball lofted into the air here. Muffin's going to be trying for one last desperation play here by Siena, searching for a 3rd goal. Ball's on the ground. Genghis knocks it up, but he denies Siena the sweet victory that would have been 1 more goal to the name as the ball touches the ground.
There we go. UT Arlington, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be able to take the series in a 3-0 sweep. Their last game, they're being 13-2, Door.
Whew. That does not feel good. But 2 goals does feel good. So I'm honestly not sure what Siena's mental game is looking like coming out of this. I think it's against UT Arlington. You can't be expecting too much, but taking 2 goals in the last game is genuinely nothing to scoff about regardless of how you got them. And they might just be coming out of this one with a little bit more of a positive mindset than they had going in.
Absolutely. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be cutting to a short break here as we try and find Canisius and RIT as we finish the series actually significantly earlier than estimation. We're ahead of schedule by 20 minutes, Door, and we will be back with the action momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back in with another game. We're coming into game 2, which will be Canisius versus RIT. I once again am Navik, and I'm joined by Dor. How you doing, Dor?
I'm doing well. Just coming off that University Texas Arlington versus Siena match where UTA was able to take the game 3-0. Canisius versus RIT, though, looking at our second game, might just be a little bit closer. What are you thinking, Navik?
First of all, I'm thinking that I probably shouldn't choke. Second of all, no, I think it'll be interesting. I do see this probably going in the favor of RIT, but I would be more than happy for Canisius to find an upset.
Yeah, and I think Canisius stand a decent chance of doing it. They're sitting at 1-2 currently. They have lost to Marist College. They ended up beating Manhattan and have a loss to Delaware, who's currently sitting at number 1. So a few losses there that you don't really want to be seeing, but Delaware, I think, is something that you can write off given their position in the standings. We're already going to be getting into this game.
Tighten up us here. Sunblaze with a good kickoff. I'm stuff stealing it away. We're back into that neutral game. Bindo with ball possession drops it down to his teammate there. Unfortunately, he doesn't find the connection. Bindo once again gets it passed back over to Sunblaze. Sunblaze contests a humble potato. What a fantastic name. Paso. Huh?
Sitting in the blue will be Canisius RIT, and what I feel like at this point is getting to be their trademark orange.
I mean, RIT's school color is orange, right? They've got a tiger, like an orange tiger.
Yet yeah, I understand, but they somehow always manage to end up with it in our games.
Well, you know, maybe it's almost like it's done on purpose so that they fit the color scheme.
Good job, Navik.
Coming out though, it's gonna be going over to RIT, which, like I said at the start, I think this game is favorable towards RIT, and they're gonna be able to find a second one just like that off of the kickoff. Fantastic play by Bindo and Sunblaze.
Nice little angle by Sunblaze. That's not a guaranteed when you really have to time that quickly, as that ball is not going at a slow pace. And with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left in the game, RIT are taking a very commanding lead. Canisius, though, however, are no stranger to the comeback, as I think they might have some caught up in their sleeve. I don't think they're going to be rolling over anytime soon. I think their mental is genuinely going to be strong enough to stick this one out and put a few goals into the back of the net.
Yeah, Canisius definitely a school. Unfortunately, they are not playing in the same area, right? As far as I'm aware, RIT do play in a lounge together. I could be completely incorrect on that one, but I do know they have an esports lounge. Canisius, however, are having some issues with their esports lounge, so they are all playing at home on their computers, which is both a blessing and a curse, right? Because you don't have that sense of camaraderie as you would all playing in the same physical room.
Yeah, there really is something to it.
Yeah, there absolutely is, right? Because you can kind of pep talk people a bit more, you know. But coming out, RIT with a very strong opener. First minute of the game, they're already 3 up, Door.
Yeah, and I think we want to talk about this top set of teams that we have, and I think there's some wiggle room towards the bottom of this, but UT Arlington, UT Delaware, and RIT are the 3 teams that sit up there and are threats all the time. And games like this, leads like this, are what RIT needs to solidify their place up there, because UT Arlington and UT Delaware really went at it last season and proved that they were the 2 teams to beat. But this season, or last season, RIT was a little bit shaky. They gave up a few losses that they shouldn't have. They proved they had some inconsistencies. However, this season is going to be their opportunity to show that they can beat any team that steps in front of them regardless of the day.
Yeah, and at the moment, RIT are definitely proving that one, right? Their 4th goal is coming out. We're a minute and 36 seconds into the game. That was a 55-second difference before their last goal. And just being able to put on that pressure, Canisius keeps getting these breakouts, but they just can't commit to finding a goal.
I think that's the struggle, though. When RIT are putting on so much pressure, they're taking all your boosts, just like right there. Sunblaze landing on top of it first, going to be stealing it away. Bindo loading up with plenty of boost to his name, and I'm stuff's going to be going forward, and this might be the first attempt they're going to get. No! Whiffs the rebound. Ball does not manage to go in. Sunblaze going to go for the clear. Doesn't quite get a humble potato. Knocks up Costo, though, with the easy clear. RIT back in the driver's seat right now.
Also here, looking to pass it to Sunblaze, plays it slow, plays it patient, good communication. I imagine that was a call up from the team captain and out there. Also a touch, gets it straight in.
And some great team play there. Bindo gonna be setting the ball right up for him. Sunblaze shoots it, goes a little high. Bindo says, you know what, I got it. Play it forward to his teammate. Costa gonna be there to put it right on in. Too many players and not enough rotations here from Canisius to stop that ball from going in. And 5 goals with 2 minutes and 49 seconds on the clock. That's plenty of time for more.
And it's interesting to see. You definitely saw the communication coming out from Sunblaze, right? The team captain for RIT definitely made a call for Carso not to touch that ball and just play an offensive rotation. And I think that just shows the sign of a good captain overall. I'm Stuff, of course, being the team captain for Canisius. I'm curious to see when we do see those communications come out. Because, of course, all we can do is presume that that's what's happening, as we can't actually hear their calls, but sometimes it's very, very obvious. Once again, RIT, Lord Bappo looking to challenge it. Bindo manages to win it. It's going to go over to Carso. Carso whiffs. Doesn't find the touch. The momentum of the ball just going a bit too fast, as now we see Sunblaze stealing it away, looking to set it up for his team. Which way is he going to go? Just going to use the boost, get a nice light touch, pass it to Bindo. Bindo gets a good redirect over to Sunblaze once again. A good 1-2-1 pass play there.
Yeah, not really going to net him anything, though, just playing the ball calmly across the Canisius half. And I think this is similar to what we saw in the last game with RIT just look comfortable. They're very confident in their rotations. The rotations just come naturally to them at this point. And so they know they're going to have that defender back to save the goal, to save the ball from going in, and to just allow them to be as aggressive as they want on the attack. Oh, this could be nice from Sunblaze. He's going to go for the double touch. No, nice save.
Again, Carso on touch, looking to set it up, passes it to Bindo, doesn't find the touch. I'm stuffed, getting a good read. Going to be able to Sunblaze. Sunblaze to Bindo. Bindo to Carso. No, back over to Sunblaze, then to Carso. Carso's going to look to try and put it in now. Gets the drop, goes off the backboard, back to Bindo. It goes in.
Oh, and I can't stress enough just the absolute limitless amount of pressure that RIT are applying on Canisius right now. They're using their backboard to the full advantage and just playing it off there repeatedly to the point where Canisius can't possibly rotate players if they go for every ball, so they need to start picking and choosing their engagement at this point. I like that they're playing aggressive, I like that they're going for all of these, but they need to start being more selective.
Yeah, I think that is what it comes down to, right? Is making the right call, find the options. It's a bit like what we saw in that last game with UT Arlington against Siena, where the confidence just seemed to get sapped out of them. I guess it was closer to the first game, the current scoreline. Minute left on the clock. Bindo just plays it patiently, not really looking to overcommit for anything. They're in a very comfortable position, or they don't even need to score again, right? They're going to look for scores because goal differential does matter. But they could just play it slow. That was a nice attempt there, going slightly too high, but I really like the dribble play coming out from Bindo.
Yeah, a beautiful attempt coming out from RIT. Doesn't really net them another goal, but you know, I'll give him a few style points for that one. Bindo going to send him off the backboard, starting to apply that pressure again, and it goes in off the back of I'm Stuff's car. Unlucky here for Canisius, but RIT, like you said, just trying to rack up that goal differential.
And this is the other thing, right? Because sometimes RIT is an incredibly skilled school overall as well. But sometimes you just look at something and go, man, that was lucky. Or unlucky if you're on the side of Canisius in that case.
But I think that's the thing, is there is a degree of luck to it, but I think if you have as many attempts as RIT are putting onto the back of the net, you're bound to get it eventually. And so I would say there's plenty of merit to be had there for RIT saying, you know what, they created this opportunity, and they've created enough times that it went in.
Yeah, well, that's just statistical probability, right? The more times you try, like you flip a coin, the more likely you are to actually call the right side.
Yeah, and you know what? 9th goal on the board might actually send it into double digits here in the first game. It took 3 for UTA to do it. Could RIT pull it off in 1?
Very possibly. 16 seconds left onto the goal. It's going to be a difficult task if they do manage to pull the double digits. But oh my goodness, I'm having flashbacks to the first time Canisius played against UT Arlington, and I'm pretty sure they went 12-0.
Oh, there it is. That's going to be the attempt. That's going to be the double digits.
Yeah, was that on purpose from Canisius, or were they trying to save it? Not okay. I'm Stuff definitely was going for the bicycle kick. Yeah, no, I'm Stuff goes going for the bicycle kick to try and kick it away, and unfortunately touched the ball and it just bounced straight into the goal. An unfortunate scenario here. I'm gonna be honest. We said it last time that it just feels wrong saying the 11th goal, but RIT is looking to make it happen, and
Also
they do.
To put it in, there it is. And they are just relentless, merciless, if you will, to a team that Canisius, they don't look like they can do too much right now. We saw Siena, though, in the previous game. They started to get their confidence, get that courage to really attempt to win the balls and play more aggressively. I think it's the exact same story for Canisius. You have to take risks if you want to start getting these goals.
Yeah, it is one of those situations where RIT just has complete control everywhere at the moment, right? Whenever Canisius managed, like originally, they were able to start finding some breakaways, it looked like, but RIT completely got their stuff together and denied every single attempt.
You know, we're heading into game 2. If there's one major change you want to see coming out from Canisius that isn't just playing more aggressively, what would it be?
Is saying playing more confidently cheating?
I'll give it to you, Navik. I'll give it to you.
Cool. Well, that's going to be my final answer. No, but I do think we need to see some better rotations, right? Some better clears overall. I think that's the improvement that is the most important thing, is when they get their hand on the ball, they need to be making these roaring clears and not letting RIT just get it over everybody.
And there it is. Actually, a pretty uncommon overcommit from Canisius. They've been doing pretty good defensive rotations all night. It's just been kind of attacking the wrong balls, but they're sending all 3 players at one is something that we haven't seen out of them, and I think it might just be a sign of them slipping up into a few more fundamental mistakes.
Yeah, and sometimes it is, like we were saying with that Siena versus UT Arlington game, sometimes fundamental mistakes are just how it is. Sometimes you don't expect for things to work out the way they do.
Yeah, the more your communication breaks down, the more these basic game tendencies break down, the more opportunities RIT is going to have, because RIT aren't UTA. UTA, we saw them play with their food a little bit, make some passing plays that were just purely possession-based against a team that they could beat purely on mechanics, but RIT are playing fully aggressively, and so every single little hole in the Canisius defense is going to be fully exploited, fully taken advantage of, and RIT are just going to take every bit of it mechanical advantage as well as tactical that they can.
And now, again, into that 2-goal situation. I mean, 2-goal lead isn't absolutely massive, right? But it's definitely not a space that you want to, you don't want to be behind any more than that.
Yeah, heading into this next minute, it's going to be extremely important whether or not they can stabilize. Bindo sends one forward, though, for RIT, and it feels like this ball does not want to leave the Canisius half. Every time they get it out, there's just an RIT player waiting for them at the half to win another 50-50 for their team and put the ball towards the Canisius goal. Not quite going to go in that time, though. Casso knocks it up. It's off the backboard, and this dangerous space here for Canisius. Overcommitting, and Lord Bappo hits it in on accident.
Bappo there again. One of those situations where he tried to come at Humble Potato, managed to get the save, but there was a bit of miscommunication overall. And it went straight back in.
And now they're facing up a 3-goal lead with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. It's not feeling good. Might just be a 4th here if RIT can put it in. No. Lord Bappo managing to force it out towards the side, though. It feels like these crosses are just coming time after time. Casso that time to be putting in the shot. Comes in from Sunblaze. Another shot from Sunblaze, and it feels like Canisius just can't get a solid clear on this ball.
At the moment, it's just one of those situations. I'm trying to think of what Canisius could be doing.
Yeah, every time they start to play more aggressive, RIT just completely take advantage of the hole that's opened up in the defense. And it's not like UT Arlington where you can assume they're going to give you the space to do what you want and just rely on their defense. RIT, they have a strong defense, but they're not relying on it. Their attackers are playing more defensively than anything, and just allowing Canisius to make the mistakes every time they bring the ball forward. But this might be another goal on the board. 5. No, still stuck at 4 goals. Bindo going to be putting that one wide.
You're out. Canisius needs to find an option here. Lord Bappo and I'm stuffed. I mean, given a golden opportunity, immediately gets stolen away by RIT, though. Casso on top of it, or I believe, no, sorry, Bindo on top of it. Sunblaze and Casso here looking to set up. Gets a nice touch. It's going to go slightly too wide. The rotation's coming out from Bindo here. Looking to contest. I'm stuffed. Gets the touch. Sunblaze. We're getting the read back over here. Lord Bappo, good challenge. Managed to get the clear. This might be an opportunity building up for Canisius right now. A Humble Potato looks to get the touch, bumps away his opposition. If we see an aerial, we do, but it comes out from the side of RIT, not people that needed it right now.
And now the ball's up for them. It's in threatening territory. Ball comes down from the top. Somebody's going to look for the second touch, but a clear from I'm Stuff is going to be just enough to get this ball out of their hands. But Lord Bappo clears it at the wrong time, gives Casso the 50-50. He'll win that. Knocks it up. Ball's coming down on top of the goal. Lord Bappo needs to get a touch here. RIT is going to be putting it in.
RIT with their 5th goal. 2 minutes left on the clock. Oof.
this certainly doesn't feel good if you're Canisius. There's no real obvious way out like there was for Siena. I feel like UTA's playstyle is a little bit more forgiving to the teams that are mechanically beneath them, but RIT are using that to their full advantage right now, and it feels like that adaptability is going to be something that RIT have to learn, though, because when they come up against a team like UTA, where the mechanics can't solely carry you through a match, they're going to have to play a little bit more creatively and maybe a little more defensively than they are right now.
Yeah, right now it is a very
on
strong
earth?
RIT. Like, I'm unsure how you handle this at all.
Well, I think really the only answer is just keep on the gas pedal. Like, the only thing that's going to force errors out of RIT side is you playing more aggressive. Sitting back and letting them do whatever they want has proven less than effective in the past 2 matches. The only thing that you can do is just crank it up and pray for the best. You're currently sitting at 5 goals with 1 minute left, so playing more defensively has at least netted you a closer game. But is that what you want right now? Do you want to put goals on the board? How much do you care about that goal differential versus just boosting the morale of your team?
Yeah, I think that is the overall question, right? Do you want to try and get out of this more like this mental stick, or do you want to just try and commit and exhort a bunch of mental energy? Because RIT is going to be able to find their 6th just like that.
But this is exactly what we saw last game. The goals weren't particularly high going into the final minute, but in the final minute, it was RIT locking up, I believe, something like 4 goals. And it's just obscene to see how much they can turn up when they really want to, but I think it's almost like both these teams are comfortable in the place that they are, and Canisius has no right to be that.
No, yeah, at the moment, they really do that as the case. RIT, though, looking for their 7th goal. I really want to be seeing, I feel like this is just us echoing the last game, right? But I really want to be seeing Canisius be able to find this breakaway. It's
Lord Bappo.
Also here, he's going to find the touch over to Sunblaze. Sunblaze looking for the bump. He misses the bump. That's going to be I'm Stuffed. Managing to now contest Bindo. Bindo still managed to find the touch on the ball after all of that, though. Phenomenal stoic determination there for Bappo. Good clear. This is what I was talking about, what Canisius needs to be doing. There's 10 seconds left on the clock, but if they can put in just 1 goal in these last 5 seconds, that would be absolutely astronomical for them. I'm Stuffed whiffs the touch, and Bindo is going to force it to the ground. It hits the corner and bounces back up, though.
And you know, RIT are looking for one more. Sunblaze is going to be the one to do it. 7-0 here in Game 3. Game 2. Pardon.
Yeah, this is Game 2. This is Game 2. Come on now. We can still see Canisius bring it back. Dude,
it's the caster math.
It is cast. It's always caster math.
It never holds up, but you know what does? A 7-0 victory coming off of a first game win. Sunblaze going big, all 7 goals to his name. That's actually really impressive.
Yeah, that is a very good set, or like statistic to have overall, right? 12 shots coming out from Sunblaze, managed to get 7 of them. What is that, 60% of the goals or shots were goals?
Yeah, something like that. It is real close, and heading into Game 3, I just want to see Canisius put a goal on the board, show a sign of life. Siena was able to do it in the last game. And against RIT, I'm absolutely sure Canisius are able to, but it's all about breaking your mental rut. It's things like communication, like confidence, that just break down when you start to roll over and give games up like this, and you can't be doing that if you're Canisius.
No, you can't. It's an unfortunate situation to be in general here, and coming to the last one, if they're able to catch it back out.
And after the second game, or after the first game, we kind of spoke about what Canisius need to do differently moving into the game, and we boiled it down to confidence. And I feel like if you ask the same question about this game, not only would it be the same answer, but somehow if you could put more emphasis on that, that's exactly how it'd be. I feel like they fell even further into that pit after losing that last game.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like that might have been the case overall, right? And it's a tough place to be in. Losing 2 games with like a lockout in both of them is unbelievably demoralizing, right? And Bindo's going to be able to get a bit of a pinch there of humble potato. I'm Stuffed contesting Sunblaze. We just need to be seeing some more offensive play coming out from Canisius, some more confidence, because they're going to be able to steal it away. I'm Stuffed's going to be there with the rotation, but misreads the 50-50. Unfortunately, I was going to say fortunately for Canisius, though, RIT made a bunch of mistakes there when trying to put it in. But nobody was able to rotate. That was too much of an offensive rotation, and nobody was ready there in time.
I'll be honest, though. I much prefer it right now if Canisius starts to go on the offensive, making those aggressive rotations. Things that would normally be considered overcommitting, I would say, just like the UTA Siena game, I would not consider them over-aggression in a game like this, where you're just searching for that one goal to take it home.
Yeah, and I definitely think that you could you agree with that one overall, right? Because just trying to find that one goal, not be locked out for the entire series, is super important. Both from like a statistic standpoint and a moral standpoint. Or sorry, a morale standpoint, not a moral standpoint. There is no there's no I did moral state. I'm like, that's not right. RIT looking to put on the aggression once again. I'm Stuff managing to find a bit of a breakaway. Once again, that just seems to be how this is going. The defensive rotation, we do see I'm Stuff prepared there, looking to challenge it. Lord Bappo going back into goal in case anything goes wrong. Is he going to be able to clear it? Sunblaze almost steals that away. Lord Bappo, though, with that defensive rotation, did work out very, very well. Humble Potato playing against Carso, managed to get it past. All they need to do is get it past Sunblaze. I'm Stuff looking for the touch. Sunblaze contests it, denies the momentum.
And that's not going to be the ticket. 2 men overcommit, and Caso is going to punish him for it, sending the ball right back into Canisius' half and showing him how it's done. RIT, just as unrelenting as every game before, but one good takeaway of this is the fact that we have UT Arlington, RIT, and Delaware all playing in one night. You really get to see them stack up against one another in a format that isn't just playing each other 1v1.
Yeah, you're getting to, well, I don't know about that one, because each of these teams are at such a varied skill level. I think everybody would have preferred, you know, but that is how round robin goes, right? Sometimes you just get a week of, unfortunately, slightly stacked matches. You know, but it's better than being put in a death pool, right?
Yeah, everyone being here in the same thing, you know that UTA has to meet RIT at some point. You know that Delaware has to meet UTA at some point. So these clashes will happen. Teams will take on losses inevitably. One team could possibly go undefeated at most, but you know that there will at least be some degree of shakeup heading into the playoffs. And that will be a goal on the board here for Canisius. It's Lord Bappo actually putting in from a nice pass from Humble Potato.
Yeah, good 1-2 pass. Going to be able to finally set that up. Canisius find their first goal. This is super important for them. They are
even just heading into the next few weeks. We talked about it. A goal on the board is a lot more than just a goal on the board to a team like Canisius right now. And Bindo looking to put one in, but oddly playing a little bit more of a goalkeeper position here. Ball gets played up though, and Caso looking to do the honors for him. Sunblaze and the rest of RIT have just aggressed on every single ball though, and they're winning so many 50-50s here that it feels like it barely matters when Canisius gets it clear.
Yeah, again, like you said, when Canisius gets it clear, RIT just rotates back, manages to find it, regain ball possession, and apply pressure again. Rinse and repeat, and that seems to be the cycle RIT have gotten Canisius in.
And what a nice little shot here from Casa. There's been a lot of goals in this game, but I think you really do have to respect the ones that do come out from midfield. It goes all the way up for it, finds the redirect that he's looking for, puts in a fourth here for RIT, and with 2 minutes left on the clock, Canisius have really stemmed the bleeding a good bit, and that's something that you have to respect.
Yeah, I mean, being able to just in general show a respectable attempt, right? It's good from RIT. They are putting in the goals. They are definitely, it shows the practice and just the general player skill. Caso once again tries to contest it, doesn't find the touch, but his teammate manages to, you know, reliably assist him there. Now Bindo goes to Caso. Caso looking to set it back up to Bindo. Humble Potato finding the touch, but Sunblaze is already set up down there just in case that occurred.
But I'm Stuff does have the counterattack, misses the hit that he's looking for. It will not be going over Bindo. Instead, he'll get a nice textbook aerial save that he's been looking for. Caso knocks down Sunblaze. Sunblaze knocks it over. It's off the crossbar. Looking for the rebound here now. RIT going to play it yet again off the crossbar. Sunblaze up to tip it up. Is there anybody to finish it? No. Bindo puts it wide. I'm Stuff now on the counterattack. Caso does get a 50-50 here with I'm Stuff. Who will win the ball? It's Caso knocking it across the zone. Goal, but the ball is played dead center for Humble Potato to get hit on. It's off the roof. It's headed back into the Canisius half though.
You know, so again, 1 minute left onto the clock. There's 3 goals down for Canisius. It's possible for them to bring it back. But oh my goodness, is that a task to ask? Now, getting that rebound, recentering it. Castle is going to find the touch, looking to pass it over to Bindo. Back to Carso. Carso looking at Bindo. Oh no, Lord Bappo!
Oh my God,
all right,
Lord Bappo.
That was calculated, 100% calculated there. Lord Bappo knew what he was doing, and that's just going to shoot straight in. Was that a pinch? That went in so fast.
I think it might have been a ground pinch here with players out of position. It's not too tricky. It had to be good aim, but he's got it in spades. Sunblaze put the 5th one in for the 3rd game. They're looking to extend that goal differential just a little bit. I'm surprised, though, that RIT aren't playing more aggressively. I think they've kind of let off a little bit, allowed Canisius to get some of these passes out of their own half, and now maybe they just turn it back up. They'll put the ball in the air where they know they have the mechanical superiority and use it to their full advantage. It's been Casso, though, I feel like, in the air all night.
Yeah, Carso and Sunblaze both just soar through the sky, and they have consistently. I mean, it's not like any of these teams are new to Rocket League, but RIT, UT, and Delaware all have performed at such a high level for so long at the moment that it's interesting watching other schools catch up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, there's something to be said about just having a level of talent in Rocket League going to your school. And UT Arlington, even with subs, RIT even with subs, we saw it earlier on in the season. RIT came in with subs and just cleaned house like we know them to do. Like, there wasn't even a difference. And I think that just speaks to the level of esports program that some of these schools have. It's so well supported.
Yeah, and that's, ladies and gentlemen, it is, of course, going to be the series going towards RIT. Playing against Canisius. RIT managed to get that 3-0 sweep, 6-1 in that final game. I mean, I said I thought it was going to be closer. Clearly, that I was wrong in that case, but I still enjoy watching every single game play, right? Because we do see slight differences. We saw Canisius manage to find, you know, a little bit as they worked their way through. But we will be hopping to a short break as we prepare for Manhattan playing against the University of Delaware. We'll be back with you momentarily. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We are coming in with the final game of the evening. Once again, of course, my name is Navik, and today I am joined by the wonderful, magnificent Door. How you doing, Door?
Your compliments get nicer and nicer with every game. Maybe we should just keep playing Navik.
Yeah, you think there's just going to be a consistent improvement of?
I think you'll just add a word every time. It's so nice to hear. My ego is through the roof, but we're already in this game, so we don't have a second to focus on that. It's Manhattan versus the University of Delaware right now. Currently Manhattan in the blue, University of Delaware in the orange. University of Delaware currently the highest standing on the board at 3-0, looking to make it 4, only dropping one game, which was to Marist, trying to keep that clean sweep going.
Coming out here. I mean, I'm excited for this game, right? Delaware being an interesting case. I think they are... I think UT Arlington has a proven record against them, but I feel like if they went toe-to-toe with each other now, I think it'd always go to game 5.
Yeah, I think the longer we go, the closer these top 3 teams get. RIT's looked more consistent. Delaware's looked better on the offense. UT Arlington has looked strong as ever, and so I think we get to see more interesting matches, especially the later we get on into the season. But for right now, Manhattan certainly has something to prove. It's their first season with the league, and so they need to show us that they can show up, because they are currently 0-2. They've got 1 loss to Canisius and 1 loss to UT Arlington. The second one, less surprising than the first, and the first one was, of course, their first game with EGF, and so maybe some jitters there, but now it's week 3 for them, or it's their 3rd game, rather. And this is really going to be their best opportunity to prove themselves. If they can't do it here, when are they going to do it?
Yeah, I think this is going to be the test, right? If Manhattan even managed to pull a lead, even if it's one game off of Delaware, I think they've proven themselves.
Yeah, Delaware are absolutely no joke in and of themselves, and they are proving it time and time again. Still currently up 1-0 in this game, but holding on right now. Manhattan's actually doing a pretty good job. 130 seconds into the game is nothing to joke about against a team like Delaware, and so getting out of this half, though, is going to be the real tricky part, because Fever lines up for the 1v1. Gets the ball ricocheted over to the corner. Moose tries to play it out, but gets beaten up by the Human L, who plays it out wide to JoJo. Fever has the cross here for the University of Delaware yet again, but nothing to quite be had as the clear is missed, and JoJo lines up for the clear.
Yeah, man, JoJo being able to find that clear there. A challenge coming out from Fever. Good contest. Grau managing to win that one. Now just needs to get it past Neek. Neek playing it slow. Grau commits. JoJo's going to try and save it, but that's going to be goal 2 for Delaware.
And that was so close. He nearly bought enough time for JoJo to get there. In fact, I think JoJo might have even been able to save that if he flipped just a little bit differently, but it was just so close. And Grau played it very well, playing it slow, guaranteeing himself the 50-50 win, and just barely out-timing the second defender.
Yeah, being able to do that, I like the commitment from Grau, right? He wasn't worried about the contesting coming out from Neek. He was just able to put it in. He jumped as well, so as soon as it bounced back, he went straight back into that goal. JoJo was almost there with the defensive rotation, but just could not make it fast enough. But that time, JoJo's going to be able to save it.
Uh-oh, and a little bit of an overcommit is going to allow Grau to put his 3rd one on the board here for Delaware, turning up the heat, cranking up the pressure, and Manhattan looked like they're just about to crack. Their defensive rotations look good in the beginning of the game, but they're starting to let them down the longer we get into this. They just got to find that again.
The clock is ticking down here, ladies and gentlemen. We're entering halftime into game number 1. Delaware already up 3 goals. Back in the Human L, looking to get it past Moose. Manages to get it past 1, gets it past Neek. I believe that's an open goal as they manage to put it in. Goal number 4 coming out for the Human L.
Yeah, just some class dribbling here. Beats one player, taps it over the second. It's going to net you the free goal a lot of the time. That 3rd player, you got to have a hard time getting back when you have as much boost as the Human L did, as fast as the ball was going there. Net his team a nice 4th goal. Use that individual skill. Take as much advantage of it as you can. And you take those. If you're the University of Delaware, you do have a lot of goals to make up, as both RIT and UTA were able to put on massive scorelines in their games, and so the goal differential has been cranked up significantly.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be goal 5, 12, like, what was that, 2 goals in the last, like, 18 seconds?
Yeah, it was not a pretty sight here for Manhattan, and Losing the human L means that there's going to be a little bit of an opening here for Manhattan coming into these next few seconds, but Fever just cranks up that aggression even more. They're confident in their ability to play, and you know what? Human L comes from respawning to the other end of the field and puts a 6-1 in with 2 minutes remaining. They're looking to contest that first game score that we saw at RIT.
Yes, I mean, every single game one that we've seen tonight has been a absolutely one-sided mess, as one of the teams has just been able to completely dominate their opposition. And right now, like you were saying, Delaware's looking to make sure to be on that side of history this time around.
Yeah, Delaware has been on that side of history many a time, but this season, of course, in that top 3, they're looking to be the ones to clinch it, because nobody's really going to solidify it until all of those 3 teams have played themselves. So right now, it's sizing each other up. It's getting those VODs. It's looking threatening to the other team so that they don't, or so that they maybe get a little bit scared of you when they play their game. But I think all 3 of those teams are taking it very seriously until then.
Yeah, and I think as the games come out, like, it's an interesting one, because overall, game 1 seems to be a wash, and then game 2, we seem to see a bit of a comeback, right? And I'm curious to see if the pattern follows here, where they manage to find maybe 1 goal, maybe 2, and then game 3 would go back to a game 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar thing. A lot of these teams know how to turn it around, but momentum only lasts so long when it's coming from something like that. Unless you start picking up goals, it's really, really hard to gain it back. And so you kind of just have enough gas in the tank to maybe go for half of that second game of comeback and re-aggression before you break again. So you need to take full advantage of that while you can. At the beginning of that second game, get a couple of goals on the board, get your momentum in your favor so that you can close it out.
Yeah, I mean, 8 goals now. Like you said, they're looking to rival RIT and UT Arlington. And if they can get that double digit, it would definitely a good starting point.
Yeah, and looking for a night. There's still a minute on the clock. Delaware can still do a whole lot of damage to Manhattan's goal differential, and that might be the thing of the day. We saw a lot of other teams here get beat by a wide margin, and so damage reduction might actually be the name of the game here if you're Manhattan.
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, 1 minute left onto the clock. It's completely possible for them to be able to get into the double digits.
Yeah, it's not out of the question. I believe we saw a 12-goal scoreline come out from RIT, and that's definitely doable with the rate that Delaware have been putting goals in the back of the net. But Manhattan might have an opportunity here. JoJo puts it in, but nothing to be had. Moose goes up, misses the 50-50 that he's looking for. Meek Mills will have the rebound, but it allows Fever to go up for the ball, taps it over JoJo, and that's the 10th goal on the board. We're in double digits, Mavic.
Oh my goodness, are they going to be able to make it 11 or?
I mean, with 40 seconds left, you can't help but feel like the answer to that question is yes. And there's a lot of times when we talk about 2-3 goal comebacks within a minute, and the answer most of the time is no, but maybe if it's a miracle. But when this score differential is this large, 2-3 goals in a minute, 2-3 goals in 40 seconds is something that you might even come to expect.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. We were on a bit of a break, right? Like a discussion during the break where, like, seeing one-sided games is an interesting one, especially from like a viewer or caster perspective, right? Because nobody wants to see super duper one-sided games. They do occur, you know, it's just a fact of reality. But seeing the comebacks, you know, it always builds up. There's a positive side to everything, right? And I feel like the positive side to seeing a team get swept is when they do come back, even if it's a week, 2 weeks from here, the next time that they meet Delaware, or when any of the teams meet their opposition today, and if they manage to bring it closer, make it a much tighter match, the narrative and the excitement there is unbelievable.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is each of these teams has their own story. It's not just the top teams. It's not just the bottom teams. It's only 4 weeks in. These teams could go anywhere, but it's a matter of figuring out where they're going to go. It's a matter of finding your lowest low so that you know when you have to improve.
Yeah, and I think that does come down to it, right? And again, we touched up on it a little bit, but that comes down to scrimming, practicing, right? Communicating, learning from your mistakes. And each of these teams, I imagine, are striding and, like, have pride in doing that.
Yeah, and University of Delaware have plenty of reason to have pride in that, is just their ability to pull off stuff in this game that nobody else can. And it feels bad because Manhattan, this being their first season, they've been unable to really gain any sort of foothold. Canisius have been nothing to mess with. Arlington are obviously Arlington, and then Delaware you get for your third game. The bracket has not been very nice to them, but I think that means that they have a lot of things that they can look back and learn from. And then when you go on to play those more mid-table teams, I think they stand a lot better of a chance.
Yeah, I definitely think that is the way to look at it, right? Because we're just waiting for them to get into the game. I think there's some loading issues. Getting any information from anybody. But again, it is one of those slow paced, right? It's slowly learning, building up towards it, and then managing to execute it eventually.
I mean, execution is the name of the game, though, in Rocket League. A lot of times teams have a vision of what they want to do. They say, oh, we're going to make this passing play. We're going to do X. We're going to do Y. Oh, here's how we're going to improve. But when it comes down to it, on the day, who's going to be the better team? And a lot of these top teams are very, very comfortable in the server. And so execution for them isn't a problem. But when you start applying the pressure to a losing team, we saw it in the past two games, their fundamentals start to break down. They get nervous. And all of a sudden, that dependability kind of goes out the window.
Yeah, I think it is that mental fortitude coming out, right? If you let it break and then you just completely have a breakdown of communication, what are you meant to do?
That's exactly what it is. I don't know if we're having any sort of issues here with the players, but I think we'll just take a little bit of a pause to figure it out.
All right, we'll be back momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We apologize about that short break, but we're getting into game number 2.
And already at the races, it's KG Kendall taking out a remaining member here of the Manhattan side. Manhattan now forced onto the defense, playing with a one-member disadvantage, applying the pressure now, though, is Delaware. Gets across to the looking for KG Kendall, plays the center, and Faith is there for the shot. Puts it into the back of the net with just 20 seconds gone out of the game.
20 seconds and they're already able to find their first goal. I mean, and I think this is what we're going to see coming out of Delaware in general.
I mean, you can't really expect anything less after that first game, but the question now is, we saw it in the past 2 series, the losing team make a bit of a rally here in game 2, turn up the pressure a little bit, find maybe a goal or two, some pressure, but I'm not seeing that from Manhattan right now. It's been very aggressive play out of Delaware, and they're not even allowing Manhattan to touch the ball in order to do that.
Yeah, I mean, again, they tried to be able to clear it out there, but we saw the double commit. KJ Kendall as well, now putting in a little bit of work here for his friend. And I said it again, I'm not going to do it. I said KJ Kendall because it's so easy to roll off the tongue. It is KG Kendall.
Yeah, I've heard it multiple times. However, KG Kendall is in fact his name. It might just be that little British accent here, isn't it?
KG Kendall is such a weird... I don't know, it doesn't roll off the tongue as easily as KJ Kendall. You know, you would tell me I'm incorrect.
Maybe a little bit, but I genuinely think it might just be your accent, Evan.
It might be. I am saying G's, but I feel like we pronounce G's as kind of J. You know, it's kind of soft. But it's whatever, right? I need to.
He's coming for you. Little you know, KG Kendall had a grudge forever. He's coming for your head, Navik. He's shown it in this game. He's going goal after goal, assist after assist, and that's going to be you next.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's the militia coming out from Faith. I believe this is the first time we're seeing Faith play for Delaware.
I do think it is. That is the first time I have seen him on this roster, and he's been showing pretty well. He's playing well with the Delaware side. He's been there for the crosses. He hasn't quite made too many opportunities for the team in and of his own, but I think we'll be seeing that in the games to come.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find that. It's interesting to see. It seems like Delaware are just trying out some new team competitions, right? Letting their subs play. They managed to get 1 win, so they have a bit of a buffer now in case things go wrong. But they are making it work once again.
Manhattan, though, slowing down the scoreline right now. It is only 0-3 at 2 minutes into the game. So Delaware has been put to a little bit of a standstill for right now, but Faith playing the ball off the back wall is never good news here for Manhattan.
And once again, 3 minutes left onto the clock to see good. And there's plenty of time, right, for Manhattan to be able to strike back.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of time, but not too many counterattacks have been made. This is, in fact, maybe the first one that we've seen in a long time. But I like this from moves. I like that midfield aggression, not allowing Delaware to have too much time in your own half, at least before you can get players back.
Yeah, trying to wait patiently and being able to rotate back. Like we've mentioned it so many times, right? Those defensive rotations are so very important. Or just rotations in general. I guess defensive is the wrong word. But finding those rotations in general is so very important that if you make the mistake or overcommit, or even undercommit, right, when you could have made an opportunity, it's going to strike you back.
Oh, but the ball is set up in front of the Delaware goal. Mistouched leads to Nick Mills getting a shot off, but Faith is still just sitting right there in goal. And that shows you what the defensive rotations can do when you do them right. It's exactly that. JoJo gets a shot, goes high though. Great defending, forces him to take that shot. Not quite where he wants to. Now, and Bruze has the ball, but not really going to be able to do much with it other than play it off the back wall. Now set up Faith, but nothing to be had.
And trying to find it clear. This is a good chance for Manhattan to be able to find something to get it past Faith. Oh, Neek there was looking for the breakaway, but it managed to get stolen away once again.
And that's been the story of how these games have gone. Every time these teams get a breakaway, it's some player who has a good rotation from a good team just sitting at midfield ready to just win a 50-50, which honestly at this point the 50-50s don't feel like 50-50. They feel more like 80-20.
Yeah, I mean, when you just have an understanding of when to commit in these situations, right, and when to go for the jumps, it works out beneficially for you, and you can make those 50-50s feel more like 50-80s. Or 50-80s, 20-80s. 50-80s would be a statistical anomaly.
Caster Math strikes again as KG Kendall puts in a fifth here for Delaware. That's exactly it. There's a lot more that goes into 50-50s. The name would imply an even standing. However, the player's understanding of flip timings, jump timings, when you just want to stand still, slowing your car down, and all sorts of stuff like that, the height at which you want to approach the ball, all affect this, and it's really a skill that you gain over time. It's an intuitive thing more than anything else.
Yeah, it is a timing thing. It comes down to a lot of plays overall, right? It's getting the good reads, and at the moment, Delaware are just the kings of the situation. They're completely in control, and that seems to just be the narrative of the night.
Yeah, we've seen our top three teams play. We've seen our top three teams all in control of a game. And I think one of the most interesting things has been how RIT played completely relentlessly up against their opponent. But then UT Arlington and now UT Delaware are all playing a very, very possessive style against their opponents. And so leading into the future, you can expect some really interesting matchups because even though these are easier teams for them to beat, I will say it does go to show how the matchups will play out because of their different playstyles.
Well, it's an interesting one because I don't think the playstyles themselves are the issue. I think a lot of it is coming down purely to the fundamentals. I feel like mechanically at the moment, all three teams that we've seen manage to dominate this time around are just miles ahead.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think they're winning because of their playstyle. I think you get to see a little glimpse of their playstyle. So when you have University of Delaware go up against RIT, you can expect RIT to play a lot more aggressive and then UT Delaware to wait for them to make mistakes and then punish on them. But then when you look at a game like University of Delaware versus UTA, it's really going to be who makes the first move.
Yeah. I think it does come down to trying to find, like, you know, who makes the first move, it's a bit like a big game of chicken, right?
That's exactly what it is. And I'll tell you what, RIT are no chickens, but University of Delaware much prefer taking their time, forcing out mistakes, and I think you notice it in their playstyle. University of Delaware play off the backboard repeatedly before putting the ball in, make safe passing plays, and commit only when they know they can score the ball, but they're so consistent at what they do that they're able to put goals in the back of the net. Meanwhile, RIT is going to open up a lot more opportunities for other teams to take advantage of those holes, but in doing that, they create more opportunities for themselves.
Yes, absolutely, and you missed an opportunity there to not call. I know we're talking about chickens, but of course Delaware are the hens. So you're not too far off.
Not too far off indeed, but I'll tell you what is pretty far off. This scoreline right now is Manhattan goes up against the University of Delaware here in the next game.
Yeah, now coming into the match point. This could be the last game of the night. Sure. How are you feeling in this case? Do we think that Manhattan are going to be able to find out their first game?
I've got plenty of energy, and you know what? If Manhattan can start showing me a little bit of ball possession, showing me a goal, maybe two, you know what? I think I know exactly where I want to spend that energy, because if they start putting goals in the back of the net, if they put a goal in the back of the net, you know they're getting hype. You know I'll get hyped for them because they deserve it. Putting a goal in on University of Delaware is very, very difficult, and that's an understatement.
I mean, there's going to be goal number one. Oh, bless me.
Bless you, Navik.
Thank you very much. That was extremely unprofessional. There's going to be goal number one.
Oh, Navik, how dare you sneeze?
How dare a sneak up on me and I don't mute my mic fast enough.
It did happen just in time, though, because University of Delaware did put their first goal of the game in, and it was only 20 seconds into the match. Now, just running or circles around Manhattan in midfield, University of Delaware are going to net a lot of pressure out of it. And Bruze knocks the ball up towards the backboard. I like this from Nick Mills. Getting the ball away early, not allowing them to get that pressure is exactly what Manhattan need to be doing.
Yeah, I think, like you said, right, alleviating some of that pressure, being able to find the mistakes that Delaware is making. And I think we just need to see one of the Manhattan players actually going for aggressive bumps to throw people off. There's a lot of rotations coming out at the moment from Manhattan, which is good to see. We saw them put on a lot of pressure on that ball, but even after all of that commitment, they're only just barely getting ball control. Then it's immediately taken away from KG Kendall.
And great enunciation there, Nevik.
Yeah, well,
Bruce goes for the save, but oh my god, Faith just drops from the roof and forces it in on him.
I mean, yeah, wow, Faith did that just actually, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really, really well thought out thing. And that's one of the things, though, is people underestimate how much pressure you're under as a defender when there's a player dropping from the roof. You do need to time your clear. You do need to time your flip so that you have enough force to make it through and past that man just falling, because the cars have a significant amount of mass, more so than the ball. And so just hitting the ball into them is not going to stop it. You need to either place it to the side or hit it at the same time as them so you can push it through them.
Yeah, Faith testing Jojo. Jojo now having ball control. KG Kendall trying to steal it away. Successfully does it. Centers it up for his teammate. The bounce isn't great, though. The timing isn't there. Now, this is an opportunity for Manhattan. We see Delaware making a mistake, and now they might be able to punish it. But as I say that, Delaware managed to reset back up. Jojo gets a nice clear over to his teammate. Moose isn't going to find the touch. The contest comes out. Is it going to go in? No. Neek is going to be there. Good old Neek Mills in defense.
But here it is. This is it. They decide for the pass to Jojo, but they don't tip it high enough, and KG Kendall will be there to intercept. Now on the counterattack, it's the University of Delaware looking for the back of the Manhattan net, not to be had. Pass goes out to KG Kendall. The shot is in, but Moose, they're the savior of Manhattan right now, keeping this from being a 3-goal game, but is blocked off on the counterattack by KG Kendall, who's going to rip the shot towards the goal. Neek Mills, though, again with the save, and we're starting to see some faster and faster Rocket League. Who's going to get the punctuation? No, Jojo makes a save, but a great shot by Faith allows him to get the second touch.
Second touch, that was a good play coming out from Faith. I'm glad this is, of course, being Faith's debut game. We're getting to see some very, very good play coming out of him overall. He's committing to things. He's finding double touches, right? He's following the ball, but not wasting boosts. He's just kind of flying.
Yeah, and it's pretty sad to see because Jojo had an absolutely incredible save on not too much boost. He flipped his car just enough to get something on that, but Faith has just looked impenetrable every time he goes up for these challenges near the goal. There's almost nothing that Manhattan can do against it. Nice 50-50 by Bruze, beating out 2 players there with 1 tackle. Will net Faith yet another chance to score this goal. He goes for a little bit of style on the flick, but not quite going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, 1 minute 50 on the clock. 3 goals left. It's completely possible to see a comeback here, but when we've been seeing games we've been seeing, I think it's difficult to for that to actually become a reality.
Yeah, 3 goals semi-doable here for Manhattan, but you've got to get a first one onto the board before I start to believe you. Faith goes up for the wall on the challenge, nets him a free cross. This should be a goal for Delaware, but no. Nice save out of Moose. Going to be keeping it a 2-goal or 3-goal game, pardon me. And what I've seen a lot out of University of Delaware is just getting back into positions quicker. Not necessarily rotating properly any more so than Manhattan, but their ability to control their car and efficiently move around the field with their boost is just impeccable right now.
Yeah, I mean, their boost rotation is on point. We're not seeing much denial coming out from Manhattan. This is an opportunity for them. I want to see them score just one.
Just one. Neek Mills passes back to JoJo, who's in for the cross. Could be up here, tips it to his teammate. Moose is in for the shot, but not quite the right angle that he was looking for. JoJo will get another touch in towards the center, but they just can't find the finish by the time they get there. University of Delaware has rotated 3 members back, and it's an impenetrable wall at that point now. Neek Mills will get an opportunity at the counterattack. Ball bounces a little bit high. It's not the one that he wants. Going to leave it here for Moose. Wins 50-50 alongside his teammate with Neek Mills, though. It just plays the ball out to Faith, who will lose the ball in a 50-50. Now the ball into the Delaware half. Finally, JoJo taps at center, but there's not a teammate there. He was hoping for it, though.
Yeah, 10 seconds left onto the clock. It does look like this is going to be another shutout coming out from Delaware, continuing, as far as I'm aware, you can correct me here, but continuing with that undefeated streak. I don't think they've even dropped a round.
Delaware are currently 9-1. They will be, though, 11-1 after this game.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, pardon me, 12-1.
Yeah, okay. There it is. Delaware now being 12-1. I was miscorrected or incorrect slightly there, but we got that sorted out very quickly. Thank you all once again. I mean, do you have any closing words here, Dor? Because that was a tonight has been a bit of an interesting one, right? I think it just goes to show how strong some of these teams are, and I think I think that's it in general. I think it just goes to show how strong some of these teams are and what we need to see to catch up, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of space to be caught up right now, but also I think it's more showing of our top 3 teams. UTA, RIT, University of Delaware are all just coming to take everyone else's lunch money right now, and I think that's the time for them is earlier on in the season, get comfortable in the server, get comfortable playing against these teams, and focus on your game, because I think for them to improve is significantly more difficult than these lower teams where they just need to focus on their fundamentals a little bit more.
Yeah, like your pass plays, right? It's communication. I would argue that it isn't even like 100% fundamental, but the communication and the pass plays and things are super important. And if they're not working out, then you're not going to be able to contest these teams who can just pass from like their goal, get a pass all the way to midfield straight into the goal. It's a difficult one to play around. But ladies and gentlemen, that will be us for the evening. I'd like to give a massive thanks for all of the schools for participating. You are, as always, every single one of you is fantastic. I, of course, have been at Cavan Navigdignan. You can find me on Twitter at Navigcasts.
And I've been Dor. You can find me on Twitter at Dor_cast. But I think that's all we've got for you guys tonight. So have a fantastic night.
Yeah, we will see you later.